Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to CCBC Essex, the Coliseum, as I like to call it, as we have women's soccer action just about to come underway. Mercer Community College Vikings will be coming into town to take on the Knights. Mercer Community College sitting at 4-9 on the season, 1-3 in the conference, 7-6 on the season for the Knights, 4-3 on the conference. So one team above 500, one team under 500. The leading scorer for the Vikings is Jamie Irvin, leads her team in goals with 21. The Knights have a total of 47 goals on the season, and they're currently on a 4-game shutout winning streak, and they are currently undefeated in the month of October. So something's got to give here, possibly. Will the Knights continue their run of dominance, or will Mercer find their footing here as we are headed into the later stages of the season? Excited to be bringing you soccer action once again. Feel like it's been a few weeks since I've been in this part of the campus and calling a lot of volleyball leading up to this. We're back outside here for women's soccer. Game one of 2 games that we're going to have for you in the late stages of this week. We'll have another women's soccer contest on Sunday for you, that game coming at noon. A slow start to this one here, neither team controlling it for much. A lot of hot potato action. This Knights team does have a lot of quality goal scorers. Michaela Boyle being one of them. There she was carrying it deep into the box. Ends up being a corner kick, first to the game. And I was starting to say this Knights team has a lot of quality goal scorers, but their strength as a unit, I believe, is definitely the defensive side of the ball. There's a missed opportunity for sure. Goalkeeper for the Vikings found herself out of position there for a moment. Knights couldn't capitalize, though. Gracie Halpin was the one with the shot there. Halpin can't get the foot on that. The Vikings' offensive attack quickly stopped there, but they'll still have possession just behind the midfield line. Halpin, good head ball over to a teammate. Here's West. Down that near sideline. Plays it into the middle. There's Boyle. Somehow gets to that. Boyle had a defender in between her and the ball initially. Thought that was going to be intercepted. As Mary McDermott was there for the Vikings. Couldn't make the play. And that's why possession remains with the Knights here. Here's Juju Melendez over to Halpin. Halpin, a little bit of a miss kick there. Gets the Vikings a chance to regroup and clear that ball out of the danger zone. They can't keep it out of the danger zone, though, as the Knights earn possession. Not for long, though, as Jocelyn Martinez-Morfin turns it over. The game of hot potato continues. Halpin now played into the middle. That one's way too far out in front of Boyle. Would have been Barry Allen to catch up to that. Made that reference many times this season. I wonder how many people at home actually know who Barry Allen is. It's the guy who's the Flash, in case you didn't know. Here are the Vikings on that far sideline. Nothing there right now. just goes out of bounds, gives possession, to the Vikings, as the Knights couldn't save that one from going out. Would have had a chance at a quick offensive opportunity if they could have. They'll get that offensive opportunity right now. Michaela Boyle tried a through ball. Didn't find its way through the defensive line of the Vikings. And instead, it's the Knights' defensive line who's tested that time. Eske had to get that one out of there. Give a chance for fellow defenders to get back as well as the midfielders. Now that they're all set up, the Vikings, their best offensive opportunity of the game so far. Deep in their offensive zone, the throw in. We'll get another throw in as that one didn't work out in their favor. Nice move there by Martinez Morfin just to kick that one off of a Vikings player. Ball rolls safely off the end line. Knights taking over control. Can they find some footing here in this one? Spent most of this game in their offensive zone, but don't have much other than a corner to show for it. There's a turnover in a bad spot there from the Knights. Gives the Vikings an opportunity to go quickly into the offense, and they are. Katowski's going to come off the line, make the save. Job by Katowski to assess the danger there. Sometimes you hesitate coming off the line as a goalkeeper on a position like that, on a ball like that, ends up giving the other team an opportunity to get a shot off. Only takes one shot on goal to change the game. Can the Knights get that shot right here? Boyle was streaking towards the goal. Halpin will give her another chance as she intercepted that ball, only to have her pass intercepted. Game of hot potato continues. Neither team finding much footing right now. There's a save initially. Rebound, though, by Boyle. And West with the head, but can't put it over. She puts it over, can't put it in. Just missed that one. Man, that was a great opportunity. For a second, it looked like the opportunity had passed by. Boyle chased it down, got the cross over to West, but West just couldn't finish it. And that is one, or if the Knights don't come out victorious in this game, that'll be one they'll be thinking about later. Boyle, far sideline, puts it into the middle. Not a great cross there, but if that ball would have not been caught cleanly by the keeper for the Vikings, could have had an opportunity to cherry-pick goal. So when in doubt, if you don't have an angle, you want to put that ball into the middle, make the goalkeeper make a decision. That's exactly what Michaela Boyle did. That time it didn't work out, but sometimes it works out in your favor. We've all seen plenty of goals like that. Boyle, once again, one of the top goal scorers for this Knights team, but he's also a really good defender from the forward position. She gets a lot of steals throughout the games. She is indeed the leading goal scorer for this Knights team. 11 goals on the season. Bailey D'Amico, number 6, right behind her, and not with 9. Here are the Vikings far sideline, in the same position they were a few moments ago, with a throw in deep in their offensive zone. But just like a few moments ago, they can't do anything with it. Score will remain 0-0 as we are almost 10 minutes into this first half. Pass there from the Vikings doesn't find a Vikings player. Instead, it goes out of bounds, and Jocelyn Martinez-Morfin will take the throw in. Good one touch there from Martinez-Morfin. Doesn't find its target. That was a good effort. Puts her team in a position to win that throw-in once again. Long pass. That won't find anybody other than the safe hands of the goalkeeper for the Vikings. The punt goes right to the midfield line where there was a Vikings player. Instead of controlling it, Jamie Irvin played it back to a what she thought was going to be a teammate, but to her surprise, there was nothing but white jerseys there, and that's where we find ourselves right now. Knights with possession for a moment, but the Vikings take it right back. Neither team doing a good job of controlling the ball after the restart, whether that's throw in, punt, or goal kick, even though we haven't seen many goal kicks. But it's a huge part of being successful at any level, but the higher up you get, the team that can control the ball longer and throughout the game, the most throughout the game, is usually the team that's going to come out victorious. This makes sense, right? You're going to get more opportunities when you have possession of the ball. It's Jocelyn Martinez-Morfin trying to chase that one down. Maybe should have played that over to a teammate as Jamie Irvin was right there. Martinez-Morfin tried to turn around, cut up field, and ran right into a wall. Instead, ended up just kicking it out of bounds. The Vikings find themselves in a good position right here. Far sideline with the throw. Can the third time be the charm? Not looking like it right now as the Vikings. I was going to say they didn't have the ball, but a great play at the midfield to steal it back. And a handball by the Knights gives another opportunity to the Vikings. And the Vikings starting to find their footing here in this game. We'll find out. An opportunity for them. This is our first free kick. It's coming about 15 yards in front of the midfield line. Good play in the middle. Eske was able to get ahead on it. A couple green jerseys over there. If Eske wouldn't have been able to get ahead on it, may have went over her head. Took a friendly bounce over to a Vikings player and set them up with a shot on goal. Instead, Eske's able to make the nice defensive play, give her teammates a chance to reset once again. Juju Melendez. Oh, it did go out of bounds. Last touch by a Vikings player. I was 100% sure about that initially. Looked like it may have been last touch by a Knights player. Regardless, possession goes to the Knights on the throw-in. They're in control right now. As Madison D'Amico clears it out of the defensive zone, but can't find a Knights player with the pass. Vikings take over control, but not for long. This is a game of hot potato for sure. Each team has had a couple opportunities. Of course, the Knights' opportunity is probably a little bit better than the Vikings. Had that corner kick as well as the head ball from West that just flew over the crossbar. The Vikings have had the ball deep in their offensive zone a few times. As we are just a minute and 30 seconds away from hitting the 30-minute mark of this first half, which means we've almost played 15 whole minutes, and the score is still even at 0-0. Remember, the Knights come into this game undefeated in the month of October, and the Knights are currently on a 4-game shutout winning streak. So you know they'd like to keep that alive. On the other side, the Vikings, with a win here today, would inch a little bit closer to 500. That would move them up to 5-9. Wow, that was awfully close. Thought for a second that was going to find its way into the back of the net. Just a little wide, though. And here's a goal kick for the Vikings. It's a beautiful, oh, West was offsides. Not by much there. That was awfully close. That is 2 opportunities for West that have been close but no cigar. Taylor West, the freshman out of Waldorf, Maryland, spent her high school days at North Point High. Just having a good afternoon. Right place at the right time, just not able to finish. Here come the Vikings, Jamie Irvin. Forward out of Ewing, New Jersey. Had a chance there, but knew that the footsteps were right on her backside. Got rid of that ball, and it was nowhere near on goal. I'm sure the coaching staff for the Vikings talked up this defense leading up to this game. Knights have a good defensive unit. So I'm sure the coaching staff for the Vikings let their forwards and midfielders know, hey, you got a chance on goal, take it. Because it may only be there for a split second. D'Amico, Madison, that is, trying to clear that ball out of the danger zone. Gracie Halpin's taking over from there. She's trying to clear it out. Excuse me, that's not Halpin. Here's Juju Melendez, has to turn that corner. That corner wasn't there as soon as she tried to turn it. Instead, she went for the pass, had it deflected, and almost came back to haunt the Knights' defense there. Instead, Ratowski's quick off the line, makes the save. Ratowski, of course, not the normal goalie for the Knights. Peyton Abruzzi usually is. Peyton is playing in the field here this afternoon because of a broken finger. And, oh, Madison D'Amico almost finished. She'll get another chance. Instead, it'll be a missed opportunity. What if? Man, that was a great opportunity. Bailey D'Amico just came flying in towards that middle of the box like a missile and almost finished. We were that close to seeing the first goal of the game right there. We're almost 20 minutes into this first half as we sit on 27-25 right now on the scoreboard. Score still remains 0-0. But after play like that, it's obviously not for lack of trying. Wonder how the weather will play into factor here in this game. One of, if not the coldest day we've had so far here in October. May wonder if this thing continues to go scoreless late into the second half. Maybe that plays a factor. You got a sweatshirt, though. It's a nice afternoon to catch some soccer. There's Jocelyn Martinez-Morfin trying to put a stop to that run by the Vikings as Natalie Porfido had that ball on the near sideline trying to take it, cut the corner, go in towards goal scoring area. Good defensive effort, put a stop to it, and now the transition game from the Knights. Coach Joe Fiedler on the sidelines saw something he didn't like. That ball went out of bounds. I looked over at the sidelines. He had his hands up on his head. Maybe he thought there was a pass there that one of his players should have made. Outside of that one play right there, he's got to be happy with what he's seen from his team so far. They've had some offensive opportunities, and they've done everything in their power to limit the offensive opportunities of the Vikings. That's all you really can do, right? Jocelyn Martinez-Morfin once again gets that ball away from the Vikings player. Juju Melendez. Whoa. Almost a fatal mistake there. So surprised because you don't see her make many mistakes. I've frequently said that Melendez is almost like the free safety of this Knights defense. You'll see her roaming all over around the field, but it almost always, when it comes time to make a play on the defensive side, she may not always be the one to make the play, but she's always around the ball, that's for sure. Talk to any coach. That's what they want out of a center back. Be where the action is defensively. More times than not, good things are going to happen if you can do that. Bad clear attempt there from Madison D'Amico. Gives hope for the Vikings as they have the ball deep in their zone. The position they've been in many times here this afternoon with the throw-in, but they've never been able to take advantage of it, at least so far. There, once again, Ratowski. Good call coming off the line with not a lot of time to spare. West up to Boyle. Boyle's got a little bit of space. Takes advantage. Up to Bailey D'Amico. Now Bailey D'Amico's the one who's got space. Into the middle with the shot. Just missed. Great eye there from D'Amico. From where I was standing here in this press box, it looked like she was going to go the opposite direction with that shot. But those low shots are always the hardest to save. Bailey D'Amico almost proved that right there. Just a bit outside. And actually just a bit outside, not a Angel Hernandez, just a bit outside. Michaela Boyle, here's a great chance. Space in front, but she couldn't field that one cleanly. She's able to recover and get another chance to give and go. Whoa, almost a beautiful play there. It was a little LeBron James to Dwayne Wade, back to LeBron James there. Give and go. Works in basketball. Why wouldn't it work here? Rondallos trying to chase that one down. Instead, it's cleared out by a Vikings player, and Eski's the one who has to chase it down. Great effort here from Jamie Irvin. Just beat Jocelyn Martinez morph into the ball. And then a great play to get around one defender. Set herself up an opportunity for a long goal that was actually a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. When she let it rip from there, I was thinking, oh, that's not going to be very close. As we are 2 minutes away from the 20-minute mark here in this first half, the score remains 0-0. But these two teams have really started to come alive here. The Vikings starting to find their footing offensively, and the Knights, their opportunities are starting to pile up. West has had two good opportunities. Bailey D'Amico has had two good opportunities, as well as the corner kick. I didn't go to college, but by my count, that's 5 good opportunities. Here's a great opportunity for the Vikings. Once again, that far sideline with the throw-in. This is about the 4th or 5th time they've had a chance like this. Can they finally take advantage? This is a good one. It rolls into the middle. There's a couple green jerseys there. But, of course, the sophomore, Madison D'Amico, is the one who comes out with the ball, makes the great defensive play there for the Knights, set up West, who had space in front of her. The Vikings defender showed up in a blink of an eye, put a stop to that offensive momentum before it started rolling. Another good save there made by the Vikings goalkeeper. It's a great opportunity. Another one for West with the left foot that time, but couldn't finish. Wow. Man, that opportunity essentially just fell out of the sky. The Vikings had possession, and then a split second later, West is ripping a shot on goal. Under 20 minutes to play. Michaela Boyle. Oh, a great move there from the Vikings goalkeeper coming off the line to make the save with really no time to spare. Michaela Boyle was lining up the ray gun there to finish off the shot. Here's West, far sideline. Knights really finding their footing offensively here in this game, and West was indeed offsides. I didn't even see the flag go up, but as soon as I heard the whistle, I knew that it was West offsides. She was just a hair behind the last defender. That is the second time that West has had an opportunity taken from her because of the offsides violation. Under 20 minutes to play, the Vikings, can they start to find their footing offensively? They've had plenty of opportunities with a throw-in deep in their offensive zone, but none of those chances have materialized for them. Instead, once again, they watch that ball go out of bounds. They watch the Knights take over possession. Sun is starting to set here on a lovely evening at the Coliseum. I encourage you guys, if you haven't come out to a game this season, there's not a lot of games left for you to come out and watch, so what are you waiting for? Maybe we'll see you on Sunday at noon for more women's soccer action. Here's West trying to split the defense. Somehow does, but can't finish it off as the goalkeeper came through, made the save. Couldn't make the save cleanly, though, as the defender for the Vikings had to come through, clean up that mess. Kick it out of bounds. Gives a throw-in opportunity for the Knights. Martinez Morfin tries to go for a quick throw, find the Vikings out of position. They do. They get the cross set up, but the cross goes right onto the head of a Vikings player, gives them a chance. Clear this ball out of the danger zone for now. Good one-touch pass there by West. Halpin was streaking there, but couldn't get to it in time. Here's Gondaios, and a good save with the foot. Juju Melendez gets the loose ball. Now she's turning on the Jets. Man, this first half has really picked up intensity. It's Gondaios again. Ooh. Little shoulder tackle there from number 8, Carissa Estelle. It was a shoulder tackle that had to be made, though, as the Knights were driving. They're still driving. Juju Melendez with a throw-in near sideline. And that'll be a goal kick as that was kicked out of bounds. Last touch by Melendez. And now as we are just a minute away from hitting the 15-minute mark of the first half, we're still tied at 0-0. Once again, not for lack of trying, the Knights. 3 shots on goal, a lot of those coming here in the last few moments. They're really starting to find their footing offensively. There was a good chance. It was a tremendous flick from Juarez up to Irvin. Irvin just couldn't finish it. Vikings still in possession here. Once again, this time, wow, going to the Knights. Couldn't tell. Looked like Melendez and Irvin were both going after that ball, so I couldn't see which one was the one who actually touched it. Here's Juarez. Irvin streaking up that near sideline. Instead, they go for the far sideline, and that's way too far out in front. Katowski doesn't even have to come off the line really at all to make that save. The longer this thing goes scoreless, the more and more you got to think this may be a 1-0 game. But that being said, the staple of this Knights team pretty much all season long has been their tremendous second half play. So will we see more of that this week as well? We'll find out shortly. We're only 14 minutes away from that second half. We get a goal in that 14 minutes. The way things are going right now, it's not looking so. As the Knights had an opportunity there, but the Vikings take over possession. And they finally clear that ball out of the danger zone. And the Vikings can't catch a break there. That ball just rolled past 2 Vikings players. Neither one of them could get to it, and the Knights have another possession, but not for long. That one goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Knights. Vikings take over again. It's been a hot potato first half for the most part. These teams have all had their opportunities. Of course, the Knights' opportunities definitely better than the Vikings. Look no further than the shots on goal category. 3 for the Knights and 0 for the Vikings. That tells you all about the quality of opportunities here in this game for the two teams. That was a terrible clear attempt, followed by a terrible through ball attempt. So back-to-back mistakes even themselves out, and we're back to where we were a moment ago with with the Knights in possession. Knights give possession to the Vikings with the turnover, far sideline. Sloppy play starting to settle in here in the late stages of this first half. Sometimes that leads to mistakes that lead to goals. Sometimes that just leads to transition opportunities that lead to goals. Will we see one of those here? Grandaios deflects that off of the leg of a Vikings player, gives possession to the Knights, or possession will stay with the Knights, excuse me. And Juju Melendez will take the throw in. Good position here. Vikings are able to regroup, kick that out of bounds. Reset themselves. Melendez will take the throw in again. Hot potato continues. And a third opportunity on the throw-in here for the Knights. Melendez tried to find the Vikings out of position. Almost worked. Last time I checked, though, almost doesn't count for goals, though. Just over a minute left before we hit the 10-minute mark. This first half is kind of flown by to a certain extent. It's kind of dragging on, though, in the later stages as these two teams are struggling to reestablish footing here. We had a great burst of offense for about 20 minutes here in this first half where the Knights looked like they were going to get their first goal and vice versa for the Vikings. Will we see more of that in the second half, or we could possibly see more of that in the next 10 minutes as well? There's a long shot. Will roll safely into the arms of the keeper for the Vikings. Big problem for both these teams has really been the same. It's controlling the ball after the restart. Both of these teams have had so many opportunities with throw-ins to reestablish their offense. So many of their throw-in attempts have ended with turnovers, and it's not a recipe for being victorious. Juarez with control up to Irvin. Irvin can't get to that one. Instead, Madison D'Amico is going to carry it. She'll carry it as far as she can. Gives it up to Melendez. Maybe she carried it too far, as now the Vikings are on the attack. And they'll get their first corner kick of the game. Carrie Garrett was carrying that into the corner. Tried to cross it instead. Put it out of bounds off of a Knights player. Corner kick for the Vikings. It's not a great corner, but they still got a chance, so how bad can it be? Knights clear it out of the box, but not out of the defensive zone. Vikings still with a chance. That did not go out of bounds. The Knights are waiting for a whistle. They're not going to get one there. It's a great opportunity for the Vikings, maybe the best they've had in the first half. That opportunity will continue. It's last touch by a Knights player. The Vikings taking over here. Throw in, near sideline. Long throw in over everyone's head. Bailey D'Amico trying to chase that one down on the far sideline. Does. Has space. Goes for a long pass. Michaela Boyle is there, but she cannot chase up to that one in time. Instead, Vikings have control over it. They're playing with it in the defensive zone. A little bit of a surprise there. I thought the Vikings would just kick it out of bounds, try and reestablish themselves defensively. Instead, they try and clear it out, end up turning it over, and give an opportunity to the Knights as they have another corner kick. Late stages of this first half and a very big turnover from the Vikings could give the Knights the opportunity they've been waiting for to get their first goal of the game. This is the second corner of the game, this one coming from the far sideline. Ball's in the air. Great corner. A lot of white jerseys there, but no one can get any part of the body on it. Or at least not, redirect it over towards the goal. Someone got a head on it, but wasn't very useful. That one's going to go not out of bounds. Instead, it's going to be caught by the goalkeeper for the Vikings, and they'll take over possession. So another missed opportunity there for the Knights. Those missed opportunities are starting to pile up for the Knights. Through ball won't get through. Instead, it's met by a defenseman of the Vikings. Here's Juarez trying to chase that down for the Vikings. Juarez is all effort here this afternoon. There's Irvin. Tried to put that through over to a teammate. No one there. Just over a minute before we hit the final 5 minutes of play in the first half. There's Madison D'Amico. West can't go with the one touch. Halpin was there, but not enough mustard on it. Irving, long shot. Oh, so close. Oh, so close. Irving, man, that's 3 long shots where each one, when she's taken the shot, I've gone, there's no way that's going in. Wow, that was actually really close. No surprise. It should be no surprise, at least. She leads her team in goals with 21 on the season. Let's see who the next closest goal scorer is for this Vikings team. Wow. Next closest goal scorer for this Vikings team has 3 goals on the season. So you know where the offense is coming. It's coming from number 17. And I'm sure Coach Fiedler let his team know that. As now under 5 minutes to play in the first half. I'm sure both teams will be happy to go into halftime. Wow, another big mistake from Juju Melendez. A missed kick. That's the second time she's done that here this afternoon. The first time it almost led to a goal. Second time wasn't as close. I was saying, I'm sure both teams would gladly take this decision into halftime. The effort's been there for both squads. The opportunities have been there for both squads. But, of course, they'd like to get a goal before that halftime whistle. Feel a lot better about themselves going into halftime if they could go into it up 1-0 as opposed to tied at 0-0. 4 minutes is all that separates these two teams from hearing the halftime speech from the coach. Halpin tries to play a through ball into the middle of the box. It's met by a Vikings defender. Somehow the Knights still have possession of this ball, though. And it'll continue that way as the ball is kicked out of bounds by the Vikings. Once again, kicked out of bounds by the Vikings. Juju Melendez with the throw. Missed touch there by Halpin leads to a turnover. How long can the Vikings control it there? Nice move by Irvin. Gets around Melendez. Played into the middle. There's one green jersey there, but there's also 3 white jerseys there as well. Not a good ratio. Here come the Vikings as they regain possession. Irving, long kick again. Man, maybe she's well aware of the fact that if she carries the ball any further, then she knows that she's going to have to make a miraculous play because that's when the defense is going to collapse onto her. Regardless, she's going to have to make a miraculous play because those long shots, you need a little luck to get one of those to fall for you as well. I don't know. The way these two defenses are playing right now, both teams are going to need a little luck to get a goal to go in this game. This is a defensive struggle. It's a classic early 2000s Ravens-Steelers game we got right now. I hope no one gets carted off the field. That would be bad. Let's not make this a real Ravens and Steelers game. Kayla Boyle, great opportunity. Left-footed shot, just missed. Boyle had to know that the defense was right on her backside there as well. She had 2 defenders, and if she would have carried that very much longer, she would have been made into a Viking sandwich. Just under 90 seconds left to play here in the first half, and Halpin with an accidental handball there. She doesn't even react to it. I'm sure she knew as soon as it went off the arm. He's going to call that one. 60 seconds, just under 60 seconds now to play in the first half. Could this be the final opportunity for the Vikings? Could the Knights steal it and get a quick opportunity in transition? That's exactly what happens. Gracie Halpin carries, and it's intercepted. The pass initially, Juarez. Halpin gets it back. 35 seconds to work with now. Halpin. And that'll be all she wrote, I think, for this first half, unless the Vikings can make a great play here. Melendez with a nice slide tackle, and that indeed will be all she wrote for the first half, unless the Vikings pull a rabbit out the hat here. That's a head ball no one wants to take. That one would have hurt. That's the end of the first 45. We'll be back with the second 45 after this. The score, 0-0. Who's going to break through first? Don't miss it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here and ready for the final 45, or what should be the final 45. The sun is completely set here on this evening. Excuse me, and we are officially into night soccer. Let's see what these two teams have in store for us here in the second half. It'd be interesting to see what the halftime adjustments would be for these two teams, as they proved to be very evenly matched in the first half. Everything even outside of shots on goal. It's the only stat where the Knights are in the lead. Everything else is tied. Corner kicks, and most importantly, the actual score at 0-0. So that shots on goal is what separates these two teams. It tells you that the offensive opportunities for the Knights have just been a little bit better than the Vikings, but they haven't been able to capitalize on them, so how much better could they really be, right? See what the offensive strategy, or excuse me, the strategy in general would be for Coach Fiedler's team. I said in the first half, this team this season has been known as a second half unit. A few times this season they've made comebacks in the second half. Let's see if they can run away with this in the second half. There's Bailey D'Amico, carried it for a moment. Wanted to find a teammate up the sideline. Santoro and Boyle were both there. Neither of them could get to it. Mia Ramirez plays it back to one of the defenders. Katowski comes off the line, makes the save with the foot. Melendez. Give and go action between her and Halpin. Now it's on Halpin's foot. Wow, that was a great tackle at the midfield line. Halpin won a call. Not going to get that one. That's as clean as a whistle. Hot potato action here in the last 45 seconds to a minute. Now Bailey D'Amico up to Halpin. And a good through ball by Halpin. Boyle didn't take the best angle. Not really her fault. I'm sure that she wasn't expecting the pass to come her way. But if she would have headed more towards the middle, may have had a chance at goal scoring. But coulda, woulda, shoulda kind of thing. Play to the whistle. Not going to get it there. That one didn't go out of bounds. Vikings player number 14 standing there with a hand in the air. Here's Boyle. Got Santoro in the middle. And trying to find Victoria Michaela was. Good defensive effort. Puts a stop to the momentum before it got rolling. And Bailey D'Amico had the legs taken out from underneath of her. Little Bobby Orr faceplant there. Here's Santoro. Great opportunity. Near sideline, about 6-7 yards in front of the box. This is a great effort. It's curling towards the goal, and Boyle just mistimed the jump just a little bit. I mean, it's tough to get to that one. Boyle only stands at 5 foot. But, man, that was a beautiful cross. It was to the far side, curling towards the goal. It's exactly what you want. Boyle was there, as well as 2 other Knights players. Well, Boyle was the one who initially had the opportunity at it. But it's another missed opportunity for the Knights. There's Boyle again, carrying it in. Carrying a little bit too far. Saved by the keeper. What an exciting 5 minutes we've already had here in the second half. Hopefully it's a sign of more things to come. Jamie Irvin takes a spill on the turf, won't get a call for it, but she will have possession for her team as that ball rolled out of bounds, last touch by the Knights. Head ball there by Halpin. Can she carry it out of the defensive zone? Can't, but she did a good job of making sure it was last touch by a Vikings player. And now under 40 minutes to play in the second half. Still tied at 0-0. And now the Vikings take over possession after the whistle, and Halpin may get a yellow card there. It was accidental, the ref says. She kicked that ball after the whistle. Could easily get a delay of game call there. Good job by the ref. Realizing it was an accident. That's a great free kick there. Bounced right in front of the keeper. A lot of times those bouncers, difficult to time just right, and also difficult to catch when you got players around you. That time it was a little easier, as it did go over everyone's head, so Katowski didn't have much of competition to fend with for that ball. Jamie Irvin was offsides. That was the first opportunity she's had where she didn't have any defenders around her. So she got that ball and just turned on the green light. It's been a difficult afternoon offensively for Jamie Irvin, even though she's had a couple tremendous shots on goal. Tremendous shots. None of them on goal. They've all been saved. Here's Bailey D'Amico trying to get around that last defender. Couldn't do it, working extra hard. Nothing to show for it, though, other than a story. Halpin can't clean that one. Can't field that one cleanly. And there is a Vikings player down on the ground. They're up now, though. Let's see if they stay in the game. Michaela Boyle. Great effort to get to that ball, but it'll be just that, great effort instead of a great play. Almost played a full 10 minutes here in this second half. That's an obvious foul. And two Knights players make a sandwich out of a Vikings player that time. Whistle goes against the Vikings, and the Knights will take over possession as we head in to the 35-minute mark of this first half. Almost played a full 10 minutes. It's been an exciting 10 minutes. The Knights have had some opportunities. The Vikings have had some opportunities. Much like the first half, really. Continuing to show that these are two very evenly matched teams. Wow, Katowski makes the save there. And wow, Irving, that's by my count now 4 long-distance shots that have just been tremendous. Boyle couldn't clean it, couldn't field it as cleanly as I'm sure she would have liked to. And just like that, an offensive opportunity slips through the fingers of the Knights. And now the Vikings have an offensive opportunity. Here's Jamie Irving. Shot! And saved by Kotowski. Very, very close. Jeremy Irving once again knowing that she had a defender on her backside. Great effort from Madison D'Amico to regroup, get into a position. I'm sure all week leading up to this game, the Knights heard from their head coach, Joe Fiedler, hey, don't let number 17 for the Vikings get a free opportunity at goal. Madison D'Amico saw that 17 jersey heading into the box, knew she had to do everything she could to not make it easy. Speaking of making it easy, here's a great offensive opportunity for the Knights. Halpin carried it for a while, trying to find Boyle or Santoro up front. Didn't work out initially, but could it work out this time? It doesn't. It's saved. Boyle, tremendous effort here this evening. Doesn't have anything to show for it right now, but if she keeps up that effort, I'm sure she will. Been first to the ball pretty much all afternoon here for the forwards of the Knights. Remember earlier in the first half, she chased down a loose ball that looked like it was going out of bounds. Instead, she put a crossover to West, and West just missed the first goal of the game on a head ball that traveled over the crossbar. So Michaela Boyle doesn't have any goals or assists here in this game yet, but she certainly is driving the offense right now for the Knights, which is no surprise since she's the leading goal scorer for the team. Vikings have control, but not for long, as the long pass by them rolls safely off the end line. And now the Knights have a goal kick, as we are 2 minutes and 30 seconds away from the 30-minute mark of the second half. When you get past that 30-minute mark, you'll start to see time slow down a little bit. At least that's how I feel. When you have these 0-0 games like that, that last 30 minutes either slows down or it feels like a rat race. Depends on which side the momentum is going, really. Mia Ramirez working hard to get possession of the ball for her team, and does, but Halpin had it taken away from her. Just like that. Vikings with possession for how long? West is working hard on that far sideline, and she does win possession for her team. Now carrying it after the throw-in, but not for long. Vikings give the ball up. Here's Halpin. She's got space. But once again, not for long. Jamie Irving. Control. The through ball. D'Amico, Madison, and Juju Melendez were both there. They're the ones who got to it, put a stop to the momentum that was starting to build for the Vikings. That's the first long shot from Irvin that we've seen that hasn't been a good one. That one nowhere near goal scoring. We're in the 30-minute mark now of this second half, which means time is not a friend to either one of these teams, at least not for very much longer. Head ball from Ramirez, I think went the opposite direction than that she wanted it to. Melendez has to make a good recovery move for the defense. Get them back into position. Played into the middle. It's intercepted there by the Knights. Here's Bailey D'Amico, has space. Plays up to Boyle, and Boyle can't control it, but it goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Vikings. So finally, after watching the Vikings have the ball in their offensive zone for about 4 or 5 minutes straight, it seemed like, the Knights will take over possession, try and get some momentum rolling on their side offensively. Jocelyn Martinez-Morfin just took the throw in. She'll take another one. Mia Ramirez into the middle. No one there. Not sure what that was. Maybe a long shot attempt or maybe just a missed kick. Regardless, what I do know is it'll go down as a missed opportunity. And the Knights, they can't afford to miss many more. Here's Irvin. Tried on that far sideline and had it taken away from her. Man, the way these two teams are playing right now, you got to think. Or it's got me thinking, if these two teams played 10 times, what would be the outcome? Or if they played in a 7-game series, what would be the outcome? Because these are two very evenly matched teams. Defenses always seem to be in the right position at the right time. Bailey D'Amico. Man, Boyle getting real physical there, trying to get that possession of the ball back. Mia Ramirez over to Bailey. Bailey played in the middle. Another great head ball by the last line of defense for the Vikings. That's what I mean when I was saying just a moment ago, the Vikings defense seems to always find themselves in the right position. Right there, they found themselves in the right position to be able to shield Gracie Halpin from getting to that ball. Now, it would have been a great effort if she would have get to it anyway, but the Vikings wanted to make it difficult and did just that. 27 minutes is all that separates these two teams from the end of this game. Bailey D'Amico switching, now playing into the middle. Has it cleared out, and Jocelyn Martinez-Morfin will start the run this time for the Knights. Good offensive run here for the Knights. We'll end with another mystery from number 2, Mia Ramirez. It's back-to-back long shots, I guess, from the freshman out of Austin, Texas. Hot potato right now. Neither team possessing it for long, and that will come to an end as Jocelyn Martinez-Morfin makes the mistake that awards possession to the Vikings. Juarez over to Irvin. Irvin lost control of it as soon as she got it. Gave possession to the Knights. It's a great opportunity for the Knights. Michaela Boyle with space. Up to Bailey D'Amico, who has space, but it was a little bit too far out in front of Bailey. Gave the Vikings just enough time to get to it, kick it out of bounds, and let them regroup defensively. West, great effort to chase that one down and save it from going out of bounds. Bailey thought that one was dead to rights. West made the effort that forced the Vikings into a sticky situation. That's the kind of effort that breaks a game in your favor. The Knights were just that close to breaking this game in their favor with a play there. Here's Halpin. Plays it back to Eske, over to Jocelyn Martinez-Morfin. Hot potato right now. Mia Ramirez up to Boyle, and that one will roll safely towards the goalkeeper. Mistake there, I think, from the Knights. Obviously, you want to take advantage of the opportunities as they present themselves, but you think most importantly, you want to control the ball. Here's Boyle, shot! It's good! Oh, Michaela Boyle finally breaks this game open for the Knights with her 12th goal of the season. But most importantly, it's the first one here this evening, and it's now 1-0 in favor of the Knights with 24 minutes and 3 seconds left to play. Finally, someone broke off the lid on that goal, on one of the goals at least. Number one, Michaela Boyle, the 5-foot freshman out of Parkville, Maryland, spent her high school days at Eastern Tech. It's the first goal of the game for the Knights. Mia Ramirez was issued a yellow card for what? I'm not sure, honestly. I was writing down the goal scorer on my piece of paper, and I looked up, and the ref had a yellow card in his hand and was motioning number 2 for the Knights off of the field. So I'm not 100% sure what happens, but from here on out, Mia Ramirez will be playing the rest of this game with a yellow card. So gotta be careful. Has given new life to this game, so to speak, as it's now 1-0 in favor of the Knights. Maybe that energizes them a little bit, but it also could energize the Vikings as they now know that they're that much closer to taking another loss here this afternoon. A loss here this evening against the Knights would be the 10th of the year for the Vikings. That would put them to 4-10 on the year. Now, if the Knights get the victory here this evening, and ow! Michaela Boyle got a stern talking to from the ref that time. And, man, I just bite my tongue on that one because that was very physical play. I thought we were going to see a yellow card there. Hope Bailey D'Amico's okay. She took a hard fall there onto the turf. Hopefully we don't see that again. Ball's on the far sideline. Juju Melendez takes over. Through ball up to Jamie Irvin. Irvin's there. But wow, what a tremendous play there from Madison D'Amico. Turn the Jets on. Jamie Irving had a step. Maybe it was a half a step, but she was in front for a moment, but that moment wasn't long. We are just 1 minute away from the 20-minute mark of this second half, which means we've almost played a full 25 minutes, and in that 25 minutes, we've gotten our first goal of the game. Bailey D'Amico found herself on the ground once again, and I can't imagine that was by accident. Jamie Irving. Long shot that time right at the keeper. You got to think These long shots for Jamie aren't working. I know the defense is going to collapse on her if she takes it into the middle, but you got to think she's got to take advantage of it, and here she does. Left-footed shot, finish! It's all tied up once again. The mistake by the Knights leads to the quick transition goal for the Vikings, and now I'm obligated by contract to say we got a brand new ball game. Jamie Irvin. Her 22nd goal of the season for the Vikings. What a tremendous season. Well on her way to being an all-conference player this season. Santoro. Knights not out of this one, and neither are the Vikings. I'm sure the Vikings never at one point felt that they were out of this one. A one-goal lead with a player like Jamie Irvin. They had to know that it only was going to take one shot to potentially change this game, and that's exactly what happened. But it only takes one shot for the Knights to possession of the ball deep in their offensive zone, knocking on opportunity's door. I'll tell you, opportunity's not going to answer. You just got to kick that door down. Will the Knights do that? We'll find out. Here's Bailey. Bailey D'Amico. Cross. Ricocheted. Off of a Vikings defender back to Gracie Halpin. Here's Halpin. Carries it with the right foot. Puts a shot right into the hands of the goalkeeper. Now under 20 minutes to play. In regulation, the Vikings take over possession, but not for long. Deja vu, possibly. This is exactly what happened on the other side of the field that led to the goal for the Vikings, and almost was more of the same as West. Once again, so very close, but yet so very far away. Taylor West, number 8, freshman out of North Point High School, has had herself an afternoon. 2 opportunities taken back because of offsides. She missed a great head ball opportunity in the first half, and then that miss right there. Another goal kick that wasn't so great, but the Knights couldn't capitalize on it, and somehow the Vikings still have possession. Oh, missed kick there, big time. Caitlin Jackson, freshman out of C. Milton Wright, swing and a miss. Come the Vikings, not for long though. Knights defense, once again, right time, right place. Make that stop. West over onto the far side. Knights had possession for a moment, but now here are the Vikings. Juarez. Long through ball. Irvin's there, but so are 2 white jerseys. Eske got to it, cleared it initially. The hot potato continues, and now the Knights are in possession. Just over 15 minutes left to play here in this contest. Time certainly becoming less of a friend for these two teams. Great idea there from the Knights, switching fields onto that near sideline. Here's Jackson. Can she turn and cross? Can't. Great defensive effort there from the Vikings, but possession will remain with the Knights, which is the important thing. Jocelyn Martinez-Morfin, great chance. She's the throw-in specialist here on this team. Puts it into the middle. Nothing there for the Knights, the Vikings. Great defensive effort once again. Here come the Vikings. A quick transition for them. It'll continue. The throw-in wasn't great. Melendez was able to sniff it out with the head. Put a stop to that offensive transition, at least for a moment. Irvin. Irvin carried it as far as she could. Couldn't carry it very much further, though. Under 15 to play now. 1-1 is our score. Hot potato right now. Nice play there by Bailey D'Amico. Get ahead on that, put it forward. No one could chase up to it initially, though. Up the far side, up the near sideline. Once again, no one's going to get to that one. But this time the Vikings take over. Gracie Halpin into the box. Boyle, long shot. Nowhere near the goal. It doesn't even get to the goal, to the netting behind the goal. So that one, very much not accurate. Second greatest hockey player of all time said you miss 100% of the shots you don't put on net. Still waiting for somebody after the game to ask me who the greatest hockey player is. It's Bobby Orr. What's going to give here? It's hot potato the last few minutes. Nothing has really materialized since the goal for Irvin and the Vikings. It's almost like that goal kind of deflated both teams to a certain degree. Will that change? I don't know. Only got 12 minutes left in this game. Something's got to give. Fans in the stands love their teams, but I'm sure they don't love that weather. They want to see this game get finished in regulation. Irvin got tripped up there from behind. Not in a dangerous area, though, but it does give an opportunity to the Vikings. This isn't goal-scoring area, but put this into the middle. And let chance take over. Let's see what happens. Into the middle, good one. But Eske was there. I think that was Eske. Irving shot. Oh, no, wow. Man. Wow. If the Vikings don't come out victorious in this one, it's going to be a long bus ride back to New Jersey. after missing a shot like that. That was a tremendous opportunity and may be the best opportunity that either one of these teams sees for the rest of this game. Another great through ball there from Irvin. Shot. Oh, man. Irvin keeping her team relevant here this afternoon with her tremendous offensive play. You could see what the offensive strategy is for this Vikings team. Get the ball to number 17. Kayla Boyle, good physical steal there. Here's Santoro, has space, also has numbers, and wow. Don't think that was the play the Knights wanted there, and we'll have a timeout on the field with just under 10 minutes to play as number 14 for the Vikings is down and out. We'll be back after this short break. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we're underway here. Back underway, excuse me, here in the second half. Score still tied at 1-1. We had an injury timeout, and the player is off the field for the Vikings. Let's see if that watching the injured player get injured for the Vikings re-energizes them, as both these teams looked a little sluggish after that second goal of the game. Bailey D'Amico doesn't look sluggish here. Here she comes, right-footed shot, just missed. Wow, there's not a lot of space in between the field goal post for football and the goal for soccer, and somehow Bailey D'Amico found that little bit of space. Wow, that's another one. If you don't come out victorious in this one, you'll be thinking about that shot later, that's for sure. Vikings far sideline. They give it up to the Knights. Knights give it right back to the Vikings. Can they clear it, though? They can't. That's the wrong person you want to give it to on this Knights team, too. Right to Michaela Boyle. Now it's Halpin after getting the one-touch pass from Bailey D'Amico. Jocelyn Martinez-Morphin. Juarez now for the Vikings. It's hot potato time. Juju Melendez wants a call, not going to get it. Can't say I blame him. I could obviously see the hands on Melendez's back there, but no whistle, no call. That's how it works. Katowski makes a save initially. Whew. Little sigh of relief after that one. Couldn't catch it cleanly the first time, but got it on the rebound. Katowski, not the usual starter in goal for the Knights, but she's had a tremendous afternoon. Hasn't been tested much, but she stepped up when the challenges have been in front of her. Now with just over 7 minutes left to play, the clock is very much not a friend of either one of these teams. The longer that clock ticks, the more it becomes, well, more overtime becomes a possibility, excuse me. I hate to say it. It's golden goal, too, if we go into overtime, remember. Which makes it that much worse to lose. You never want to lose ever, but you never want to lose when it's last goal wins. That looked like an accidental handball that could have been called. Maybe it hit the body instead, though. Not the greatest angle from up here in the press box. Here's Irvin, plays it from behind the body, left-footed cross. Not a great effort. That'll count for 3 points. Nothing here this afternoon. Chippiness is kicked up a notch here in the last few minutes. We may see another card the way the thing is going right now. These two teams are pushing and shoving. This is a tremendous game. Can't say I blame them. Don't want to lose one like this. Yellow card issued. Gracie Halpin is the one walking off the field. So now Gracie Halpin and Mia Ramirez will be playing the rest of this contest with a yellow card. And Gracie Halpin taking her sweet time coming off that field, too. We're back. 5 minutes and 30 seconds left to play. Juarez! Oh, she couldn't get the shot off! Did that just happen? Wow. I thought for sure that was going to be the game-ending goal right there. And another timeout on the field. Gutowski, the goalkeeper, looks to be the injured player for the Knights, and this is huge. She is the only other goalkeeper listed on this Knights team. Peyton Abruzzi, the normal goalkeeper, has a broken finger, so I don't believe that she's available. So, wow, if Ratowski has to come out of this game, that would be a massive blow to this Knights team in the final back out onto the field. like Gracie Halpin may have taken that one off the back of the head. I guess not, though. Seems to be all right. Ratowski's still in the game, which is huge for the Knights team. Would have been a massive blow to lose her, as I said before we went to the break. No goalkeepers listed outside of her here for the Knights team this afternoon. Here are the Knights. Great opportunity, and I don't think Halpin realized that she had a defender right behind her. Regardless, didn't come back to hurt him that time. Here's Bailey D'Amico, back to Halpin. Halpin, can she finish? Just missed. Looking for that top corner, and just missed. Wow, very, very close. Could that be the final great opportunity of the game for the Knights? I don't know. We still got 4 minutes and some change left, so there's still time. Like Jim Carrey said in Dumb and Dumber, so you're saying there's a chance. It's now Vikings possession, far sideline. Can they get something going? Man, I still can't believe that the Vikings had those two one-on-one breakaways in the last few minutes and didn't finish either one of them. And this game should be 3-1 right now. There's no way to shake it other than that. And it's so incredible, too, because when you think about it, all the opportunities that the Knights have had in this game, they've had so many more great opportunities, particularly in the first half, but over the last 2-3 minutes, opportunities open the door for the Vikings to walk through, and they've said, you know what, I think we'll find another way. Bailey D'Amico over to West, sniffed out by one of the Vikings defenders with the head ball. And now Irvin trying to get some breathing room to get a pass off, does. And man, that was not great offense there from the Vikings. They let that ball get too far out in front, gave Ratowski a chance. It would have been a tremendous play. It was a tough play to make, but don't think that was their best effort there. Far sideline, just over 2 minutes left to play. This is winning time right here. Next goal wins. Irvin gets caught by Jocelyn Martinez-Morfin. That was great defense by number 13, forcing the ball off the foot of the best player on the Vikings. Here's West. Another chance. Can she get to it? Can't. That was a great defensive effort there from Estelle of the Vikings. But with 1 minute and 45 seconds left, the Knights still have possession, still have a chance. Long pass gets out of the danger zone, but will also keep possession with the Knights. And they can hold on for this final shot. Bailey D'Amico trying to turn the corner. I've seen her score from there. I was thinking there's not much of an angle there, but I've seen Bailey D'Amico squeak one in from that angle. Good save. Corner kick. Just over a minute. Could this be the final opportunity? Bailey D'Amico, hands up. Ball will follow. Good corner. 3 white jerseys there. One of them got a head on it, but it wasn't accurate. 45 seconds now. Looks like the Vikings are going to play for overtime. No urgency in their feet right now. And indeed, we are headed for overtime, it looks like. We ended the first half tied at 0-0. We end the second half tied at 1-1. Two things are for certain. Next goal wins, and whoever loses this game is going to be really disappointed. We'll be back after this short break. All right, fans, from the memo I just got from the boss, this game is over for right now. And for future references, please check the website for future dates and times. The only date I'm 100% sure of right now is Sunday at noon. I'll be back here for more women's soccer action. So outside of that, check the website for further dates and times, and we'll see you on Sunday at noon. And until then, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.